Hellbillies. Alright, today's lesson is all about the blues box. Yeah, this one's going to be fun. I had a hard time doing this video, but this is a fun box. So, there's the box right there. You can see it. It starts out, the first fret is going to be the 8th fret. So 8, 9, and 10. We're going to cover 8, 9, and 10. The last one we learned covered 5 to 7, right? 5 to 8. We're going to go 8, 9, 10. So this box is going to come in right after the last one we learned. Right there. So they're connected. The last box, where that one ends, then this one starts, which is on that 8th fret. And, the cool thing about this one is it just sounds like the blues. I mean, you just, all day long, that jam track I used was the one from Marty Music, and it's a Chicago blues kind of thing almost. It's got that, which is that the box we call, that's the Chicago blues sound, is that box. So that's kind of cool. And then it's got the for the turnaround. I like it. So back to this blues box. Our root is on the 10, on the B string right there. So, the 4 is right below that. The 4 being the D. When you go to the D chord, the first change in a 1-4-5 progression. Because in 1-4-5 we got A, we got D, we got E. So the 4 note is right below that. Super cool. Super easy. Put that jam track on and then just run through this, for a little while, and then try to connect your other box, your first position pentatonic and this together, stuff like that, because you're going to go 5, 8, 10, 8, 1. I'm not trying to give you riffs. I want you to write the riffs, but try to connect those two when you get through there. Okay? Another cool thing about this box is we have this A7 chord in there. You see that? That's an A7th chord. Now, I had this problem when I was younger. The root's not in this chord. There's another chord which is close to it, which would be, you'd use this over here and then make that chord, and then you'd have your root. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. Here's the thing. Just because you play a chord, it doesn't have a root, it doesn't always matter, because you have a bass player and you have another guitar player, piano player, you have someone else playing that root. So you can get away with playing the notes, 3 notes that are in the chord without the root, or 2 notes even. 2 notes is really cool stuff. I'll show you that later. But you don't always have to play the root in the chord if someone else is playing it. Now, if you're playing this by yourself and you don't have a backing track, you might want to go. Okay? But that A7 chord, I put the picture up of it. The picture of that root's there, but don't worry about the root. This is just a 3-finger, because it's right inside the box. Stuff like that. Now, should you practice this when you first get it, like, the way it is? Sure, practice it, go. You got to learn that, the fingering, but it's pretty easy because you're not moving anywhere. You're just stuck in that one little spot. And every note you need, there's your root note, there's your A, there's your 4 when you go to the first change. You go back to the A, and then the rooftop of this, like I like to call it, is your 5 chord. So Okay, another thing really cool is bends in here. This is the place where you learn your bending. There's not any. There's other positions, but this is the place where you should really learn your bends. Okay, because people ask me, well, I don't know what notes to bend. Bend the root note. Always, that's like a no-brainer. Bend the root note. You got to bend the root note to a note that's, feasible. Let your ear train yourself to do that, though. So you can bend that root note half, bend it a whole, bend it a whole and a half. But it's got to be in the right place of the song and all that. The other thing to bend, obviously, is you can bend the 4 note. Bending the 4 note, you're trying to bend a whole step up to the 5. That's what you do when you bend. You bend the 4 to the 5. So you got all that in here. You got your 5 here. You can bend the 5 there. It doesn't really sound. If you could put it in the thing, I would do it. If it fits in the piece that you're playing on, by all means do it. If it doesn't, vibrato really for that one. This one is all about your ear. I gotta say that. You're not moving anywhere. You're just using your 3 fingers. And okay, as guitar players, we love that square box position. If we can play, 6 notes in a row and just, go. We love that. If we don't have to add the pinky, we're so happy for some reason. Probably because we didn't practice our pentatonic scale enough. So, yeah, and you got your 1, 4, and your 5 in this box. You got the same 5 notes as before. The A, C, D, the E, and the G. It's just that we have them out of order, which is a very cool thing, actually, because a lot of guys are like, I always start out on the root note and it doesn't sound like the blues. No, it doesn't sound like the blues. Blues guys don't generally start out on the root note. You know what they start out on? The note or the 2 notes before it. So this is the perfect way to learn that right there, right from the get-go. You don't always have to start on the root note. You can start out on the root note. You can start out on the note before or the 2 notes before, because they're still in order. They're still going in order. Just because we're playing E, C. I'm having such a hard time with this today. Start out with the E, right? And then we go G, A, C, and D. My God, I had such a hard time with this one today. This isn't the first time I recorded this. Okay? So they're still in order, though. They're just in a different order. The notes don't go out of order when we're going through this stuff. They always stay in order. Okay? So again, we got the E, the G, the A, the C, and the D. And that A is our root note. The 4 note is the D. The 5 note is the E. So all those in there when you're going to the progression. And then, like I just said, try to play the note before the change. That's what's bluesy. That's what gives you soul, feel, all of that stuff. Holding the note, vibrato, but playing the couple of notes that lead you into the note is really what makes you a great player. So yeah, get that jam track out. It's the one from Marty Music in the playlist. I have the playlist in there of the jam tracks. Pull out the one from Marty Music. It's that Chicago-y blues one. You can use any of them. That one works pretty good with this. I'm sure they all will. You probably need to play them all in all reality just to get the different feel of the different ones that go on. So yeah, And then you got that A7 chord in there, That's such an important chord. And you're getting part of the cage system with this because you're learning the notes around the chords. We're not like pushing out way, beyond what we're doing. It's right there. There's no reason we shouldn't learn that, that chord is inside of this box that we're learning. It's very important, Don't, it's like I said in the first thing, oh, don't learn theory. Everything is theory. You're not going to get away from not learning theory. Okay, maybe you don't know the Mixolydian, but you know what? When you're done with this, maybe you will learn the Mixolydian. So everything is theory, Playing an A chord is theory. So don't shy away too much from theory. Don't jump into it like with both feet in college. I'm going to college to learn music theory. I'm not saying that in any way, but realize everything you learn is theory. So, and if you have any problems with that A chord, that's an A7 chord, but you could turn it around and put your finger on the other side too, and it's an A chord. Hear the difference? Just like your D chord. That's all you're really doing is just moving that D chord. Excuse me. That D chord, you can move that D chord all the way up and down the neck. So don't hesitate to, if you get lost, like I don't know where that A chord is, go from your D, E, F, G, A7. It's a cool chord. And it's right there in your riff. So, okay, right on. So I showed you the fingering. Practice that one. Get your playlist out and, go for this one. And then work on connecting those two together if you can, okay? Work from one to the other. Pay attention to your root notes. Pay attention to, your fours and your fives. And, see if you can write some riffs with it, all right? All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. Smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you know the next time I do a video on how to play lead guitar for beginners and intermediates and everybody else. And all right, have a good day. Thanks. Cheers.